Hey guys, what's up? It's Ellie here. After plunging hundreds of hours into Dishonored 2, the community was ready for even more. Today, the months of silence were broken. Dishonored: Death of the Outsider has just been announced. A standalone game featuring Billy Lurk, otherwise known as Captain Megan Foster in Dishonored 2, and none other than our old playable protagonist from the first Dishonored's DLC, Dowd. We're going to be taking this trailer apart, and I'm talking about the whys, hows, and what more could possibly happen. First things first, the canon ending of Dishonored included the decisions of sparing Dowd as Corvo and sparing Billy Lurk as Dowd. These were low chaos decisions, which have time and time again been proven to be the canon of the game. If you've played through the Brigmore Witches DLC canonically, you'll know that Corvo spares Dowd, but what happens to Dowd after that? Well, in an interview with co-creative director Harvey Smith by Game Informer, he confirms this.
Dowd takes the money he's built up over the years from killing corrupt aristocrats and the like, and he disappears. He basically retires.
So Dowd fled Dunwall after the events of Dishonored, and although he is known as the Knife of Dunwall, he is originally from Serknos, just like Corvo. After retiring, it only makes sense that he returns to where he grew up, to basically disappear and live the rest of his life in peace. But I guess that doesn't really last. So let's get into the trailer. We hear the nostalgic theme of the first Dishonored, Drunken Wailer, as Billy drops into this dark and dingy building from a circular window. But taking a closer look, you'll notice that Billy now has a prosthetic right arm. In Dishonored 2, Billy, aka Megan Foster, went through the entire game canonically without her right arm. Billy continues into the buildings and we shift over to two burly looking men who look like they're training. Billy calmly walks past the room, not knowing that he was going to get his ass kicked by an ex-assassin who just shot him in the face with a wrist bow. Or is it? Let's take a look at this. The wrist bow is used by Dowd. It's a smaller version of the crossbow used by Corvo. But Billy doesn't look like she's holding anything. This electrifying bolt shoots from her left hand. Hopefully we get more information on her weapon soon. It's also interesting to take note the writing on the wall behind them. There's only one way out of this world. She continues down the hall to be followed by the second man wielding a pipe, who we can see has a huge back tattoo saying Golden Tulip. But what is Golden Tulip? Could this be a new faction? Of course, we already know of one gang in Serknos, the Howler Gang, but that was in Karnaca. If we're in Serknos, we're probably in a different part of it, explaining a new gang. Questionable name though. So Golden Tulip follows her into a room, a decision he instantly regrets. Also, I'm not sure if the walls will actually break like this in the game, but it does look pretty awesome. Billy now wields a sword that seems somewhat electrical and takes him down along with another 3 men and runs back into the room. A new figure appears holding a pistol following the chaos. His smaller frame and long coat suggests that he's probably one of your key targets in the game. We pan back to Billy, who we finally get to see clearly. The first thing we definitely notice here is look at her right eye. Billy has gone full Terminator on us and has ditched the eye patch for something that I'm sure will give us abilities like Dowd's Void Gaze, a supernatural ability that combines Corvo's dark vision and the heart, which will probably allow her to see creatures and key objects through walls, as well as detecting bone charms and runes. The next thing we see clearly is her blade, a retractable sword that looks pretty darn awesome. We also see her right prosthetic hand glowing. It makes me wonder if it's powered by anything, or if the hand is possibly supernatural. Now we see Billy pretty much teleport through the wall behind the target. As we know with Blink, both Corvo and Dowd's version, we could only move to places within our line of sight. But when playing the first game, I had always noticed the Wailers seem to basically appear and disappear from thin air. This makes me wonder if this is a power Billy kept over time. There's also another explanation I'm thinking of, which I might leave for another video. So Billy lethally takes down her target and we get a full frontal shot of who will be our next protagonist. She walks into the room and says the name we have all been waiting to hear, Dowd. So let's just watch and listen to the rest of the trailer, shall we?
Dowd, it's good to see you, old man.
You up for one last job, Billy?
Who's the mark?
The black-eyed bastard responsible for all the chaos.
We're gonna kill the outsider.
It sounds so great to hear Michael Madsen's voice, doesn't it? Billy Lurk is here to rescue Dowd. I'm trying to work out at what point of the game that this mission takes place. Considering Billy is totally decked out like the Terminator, I'm probably going to have to say perhaps somewhere in the middle or late beginning. Dowd asking Billy if she is up for one last job doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be the last mission, of course. I'm sure there's a lot of work to be done when attempting to assassinate a supernatural godlike creature who lives in his own world and seems to see and know literally everything. The black-eyed bastard known as the Outsider. I think the biggest question I have after watching the trailer is, why is Dowd so bent on trying to take down the Outsider? We know from conversations between the two that he and Dowd aren't really the best of friends, but what tips Dowd over the edge after leaving Dunwall to find peace? We know the Outsider loves to give people the power to start trouble, so what has he done this time? Also, I would love to know if we will be able to have the choice to play as Dowd or Billy, much like the decision we made in Dishonored 2 between Corvo and Emily. The game will be available on the 15th of September this year, 2017, and is currently on Steam, available for pre-purchase for $29.99 USD. I definitely have more to talk about, so make sure you subscribe and let me know if you liked the video by leaving a like. Let's discuss this more in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!